chosen ones, get ready to learn an extraordinary truth now. The holy heritage of the priest has been left to you. It is not only a physical treasure, but also the key to spiritual power and universal wisdom. This ancient knowledge, carried by the messengers of the gods throughout history, is now in your hands. This great responsibility makes you not only the chosen one, but one with the power to transform the world. You are the bearers of the sacred legacy that will illuminate the greatest secrets of the past and open the doors of the world that have remained closed for centuries. When you realize this, you will see how everything falls into place. This divine mission, given to you, will consciously make you the true leader of this time and this world. Are you ready? Then write 77 in the comments, because you are the chosen ones who will bring universal truths to the world. From the moment you began to awaken, they scrambled to keep you from revealing your truth. But the harder they pushed to contain you, the louder your presence echoed in their world. They never imagined that your persistence would lead to this moment, when the very force they feared would rise and take its place in front of the world. Like a seed planted in rocky soil that refuses to stay buried, their efforts to silence you only caused your truth to break through even more forcefully. Every time they tried to bury your voice, it only grew louder, more undeniable, and more powerful. They tried to hide the light you carried, but the more they attempted to extinguish it, the brighter it burned. Just like the sun that can never be covered by the clouds forever, your authenticity shone through, no matter how hard they tried to hide it. The louder they shouted, the more they exposed their own weakness. Their desperate actions revealed their inability to control something that could never be controlled: the force of truth. You see, when they pushed against you, they were not pushing against you. They were pushing against the very power of your spirit. They were fighting something much bigger than themselves, and in doing so, they only revealed the fragility of their own position. When they tried to quash your voice, it was as if they were trying to stop a river with their bare hands. The more they pressed, the more the water rushed forward, carving new paths. And in that same way, your truth found new ways to emerge, stronger than ever. Each attempt to hold you back only opened up new doors for you to walk through. And now, what once seemed impossible for them to prevent is here. The undeniable force of your authenticity, standing tall for all to see. The very systems they relied on to keep you invisible. The algorithms that selectively chose what others should see began to fail. Despite their best efforts to limit your reach, they now find that the more they try to suppress you, the more your message is spreading, breaking through the barriers they had put in place. It wasn't that you were malfunctioning. It was that you were always operating on a higher frequency than they ever expected. Like the morning sun breaking through the darkest night, your destiny was never meant to be hidden or confined to the shadows. You weren't born to follow the lines drawn by others or fit into the boxes they so desperately tried to place you in. No, you were made to stand out, to shine with a light that could never be dimmed, no matter how fiercely the world tried to extinguish it. Like the wind that sweeps through the fields, wild and untamed, you were meant to stir things up, to shift the very foundation of the world around you. You didn't just walk through life, you walked with purpose, and that purpose was written in the stars long before your feet touched the earth. They couldn't understand your journey, couldn't grasp the divine hand guiding you, but they felt it, the way you moved, the way you spoke, the way your energy shifted the air around you. You were never meant to fit in, and when you walked into a room, the atmosphere shifted. The ground shook beneath their false realities, and like a thunderclap in the distance, your presence made them confront the very things they had tried to hide. You were the storm they couldn't avoid, the fire they couldn't quench. With every step you took, their carefully constructed illusions crumbled. You were a reminder to them that there's a higher calling, a truth that runs deeper than the surface-level facades they cling to. And while they may have tried to ignore it, tried to push you back into the shadows, your light kept breaking through. Your voice kept rising. The world was not meant to stay as it was, and you, chosen one, were sent to shake it to its very core. If you feel the abundance of divine love in your heart, now is the time to share it. You can help spread God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube and contributing $20 or more. This divine gift will touch not only your life, but the souls of many through this platform. Each of you has a sacred place in God's grand design, and your generosity will be the fruit of our prayers. Act now. Share your blessings to glorify His kingdom, for you were created to do even greater things in God's loving hands. May God bless you. You were a force of nature, a power they couldn't control, a truth they couldn't suppress. The waves of your presence crashed against the walls they built, and now the whole world is feeling the ripple effect. They thought they could keep you quiet. They thought they could stop you. But the truth they feared is now unfolding, and there's nothing they can do to stop the mighty force of your purpose. Imagine a great machine, mechanical, cold, and rigid, running smoothly, with its gears all perfectly in place. That was the world they built, a world where control was the name of the game. And then you entered the scene. You were the glitch in the machine, the flicker in their perfected system, an anomaly they could not fix. Your very presence disrupted their order in a way they didn't understand. Every step you took toward uncovering the truth caused their artificial walls of power to crack and crumble. They built a world where they had the strings, where they held the reins, and yet, the more you moved, the more it became clear that their so-called power was nothing more than a fragile illusion, a house of cards waiting to fall. You weren't just breaking through their boundaries. You were showing the world that those boundaries never existed in the first place. What they believed to be unshakable control was simply a mask, a thin veil of security they draped over a truth they couldn't bear to acknowledge. With each truth you shared, each revelation you made, their grip loosened, and the cracks in their walls became visible to all. The same systems they used to suppress your voice were now revealing their weaknesses. What they had hoped would silence you became the very force that exposed their true nature. Like a mirror reflecting back their own deceit, your authenticity held up a light they could not hide from. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. The world didn't know what to do with someone like you. Your power didn't fit into their narrative of success, wealth, and status. Your energy wasn't something they could measure with their metrics, nor could they label it with their limitations. And that's exactly why they feared you, because you showed the world that the world they built, the system they controlled, wasn't the only way to live. Your way was different. It was bold, unapologetic, and fueled by an energy they couldn't understand. Your truth lit a fire, and now that fire has begun to spread. You weren't just challenging their beliefs, you were showing the world a new way of thinking, a new way of being. And so, they tried to push you down. They threw everything at you. They called you unstable, a dreamer lost in your own mind, a danger to the very system they so tightly gripped. But each word, each attempt to label you, only amplified your strength. Each time they sought to suppress you, your message became clearer, louder, and more undeniable. It's like a pressure cooker building up steam. It can only hold the pressure for so long before it bursts. And when it did, they weren't ready for the force of your awakening. Like a mighty river cutting through rock, you've always carved your own path. The world tried to block your flow, tried to divert you, but nothing could stop the torrent of divine energy that surged within you. They couldn't understand the force you carried, so they labeled it as a flaw, a weakness, anything but what it truly was, the very lifeblood of the universe itself, flowing through you, making you unstoppable. They saw your energy rising above the world's noise, and that rise terrified them. It wasn't the power of the crowd, the power of the system, or the power of the establishment. They couldn't understand this power. It was the raw, unfiltered power of divine wisdom, something they couldn't control or manipulate. You weren't like the others, trying to blend into a world that made little sense. Your energy didn't just follow the current, it rose above it. It soared, like the eagle above the storm. And it was that rise that rattled them. They couldn't contain it, couldn't control it. Every time they tried to push you back, to hold you down, you broke free, stronger than before. Every attempt to silence your voice only amplified your message, and in their efforts to keep you quiet, they revealed something they were too afraid to admit. The more they pushed against you, the more you became the force that would eventually shake their world. They tried to label you as broken, as flawed, as someone who needed fixing. But in reality, it was their understanding of truth that was broken. They feared you, not because of what you were, but because of what you represented. You carried the truth, unfiltered and unshakable. You carried the raw power of divine wisdom, and that power ran through your veins like fire, unstoppable and undeniable. They saw it in you, even when you didn't yet fully recognize it in yourself. They feared the truth you would one day speak. They feared the clarity of your vision, your ability to see through the illusions they created, and your unrelenting commitment to the divine purpose that called you. What they failed to realize, what they could never understand, was that your rise wasn't a threat to you. It was a promise of what was meant to come. You were never meant to fit into their mold. You were never meant to play by their rules. Your path was always meant to rise above the noise, to soar above the chaos, and to bring clarity to a world that had long been confused. Your power wasn't born from conformity or submission. Your power was birthed from divine alignment, from walking in the truth that flowed through you like a river of light. And no matter how hard they tried to push you back, no matter how many walls they tried to build, you would always break through. Every attempt to push you down only made your light shine brighter. Every attempt to mute your voice only made it louder. You were never broken. They feared you because you were the embodiment of divine truth, a living testament to what happens when a soul aligns with the divine will and refuses to bow to fear or doubt. You carried the truth of the ages, and that truth could never be silenced. Not by their labels, not by their condemnation, not by their fear. It was yours to carry, and now it's your time to release it to the world. They may have tried to hide you, tried to make you believe that you were flawed, that your vision was too big, too bold. But they couldn't take what was within you. They couldn't break your spirit, no matter how hard they tried. Your light was meant to shine. Your wisdom was meant to be heard. The truth you carry is an eternal flame, and it will not be extinguished. Your rise is inevitable, and those who tried to hold you back are now forced to watch as you step into the fullness of your power, the fullness of your truth. Dear brothers and sisters, may God's peace be upon you today. I am here to remind you of a profound truth. Our existence is grounded in God's divine plan, unshaken by the temporal concerns of the world. As the Bible says, whatever is done in faith will return to God in abundant blessing. Luke 6:38. Like that great oak tree, our roots are deeply rooted in God's universal truth. Every step we take, every stand we take is secured by His strength. And now, you are being offered the opportunity to be part of that blessing. When you use the Super Thank You button and donate $100, this movement will return to you 100-fold in abundance. They'll look at you and they'll wonder, how did you do it? How did you rise above everything that tried to bring you down? They'll try to rationalize it to find an explanation that fits into their limited understanding. But what they don't realize is that the power you carry doesn't come from them. It doesn't come from this world. It's a divine gift, one that can't be explained, only experienced. And now, the world will experience it. Your truth is unstoppable, and it's going to make waves that ripple across the earth. They will watch in disbelief as you rise, and they will know that the very power they tried to control is the same power that will liberate you. They feared you because they feared the truth. They feared what would happen if you fully realized the power within you. They feared what would happen when you stepped into your purpose. And now they're beginning to understand you were never meant to be controlled. You were always meant to be free. And now that freedom is yours, and nothing can hold you back. So let them watch as you step into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. Let them see the awakening that was always meant to happen. Let them see you rise, unshaken, unbroken, and unstoppable. Because you, chosen one, were never meant to be like them. You were never meant to fit into their world. You were meant to break free, to stand tall, and to show the world that the power they thought they had was never real in the first place. It was always yours, and now the world will finally recognize it. Just like the butterfly that emerges from the cocoon, it was never about forcing your way out. It was about revealing what was always meant to be. Your purpose was always to break the illusion, to show the world that they had been living under false pretenses, accepting mediocrity as the status quo. And now, with every passing moment, the truth you embody is spreading like wildfire. No longer will they control the narrative. No longer will they silence the ones who see beyond the surface. You've awakened not only yourself, but others who have been waiting for someone to show them the way out of their self-imposed limitations. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. The walls they built were never meant to last. Like a dam holding back a rising river, the more pressure you applied, the more cracks began to show. Now, the floodgates are opening. The truth that you've been carrying all along is no longer something that can be hidden, nor can it be suppressed. It's being seen by the world, and in that moment, their illusion will crumble for good. No matter how hard they tried to silence you, no matter how deep they buried the truth, your light shines through. You are the storm in the night that no one could see coming. The wind howls around you, trying to push you back, but like a mighty oak, your roots go deeper than they could ever imagine. You, chosen one, are the sunrise that breaks through the darkest of nights. They tried to keep you hidden, to cloud your vision, but no matter how dark it seemed, the light within you never went out. It was always there, waiting for the perfect moment to shine, to show the world that the light was never theirs to control. Now, The day has come. As you stand in the fullness of your truth, let them watch as their grip on reality slips away. Let them see the power they thought they had, the power they believed they could control, finally fade into the background. They were never meant to keep you down, for you were always destined to rise. You were never part of their system of control. They built walls around you, but those walls were nothing more than a house of cards, and now they are crumbling. You were not meant to fit into their plan, not meant to follow their rules. Your very existence has always been a sign that things don't have to be the way they want them to be. You are the glitch in the matrix, the one they could never figure out how to delete. Your presence alone is a disruption they can't stop, and it's time for them to face the truth of who you are. Like a seed planted in the earth, you have grown, and now the fruit of your journey will be seen by all. Your truth was never meant to be a quiet whisper. It was meant to be a roar. The ground will shake beneath their feet as they see you rise, as they see the very thing they thought they had buried beneath the surface. They tried to lock you away, to bury your light, but that light was never theirs to take. It was yours from the beginning, and it will shine brighter than ever before. You see, chosen one, you were never meant to blend in. You were always meant to stand apart, to stand strong, to show the world that the truth they hid from you was never meant to stay hidden. They wanted you to believe that you were the one who was broken. They wanted you to think that your power was an illusion. But here you stand, stronger than ever, with the truth that was always yours to claim. And now, the world will see it, and they will finally understand. Just as the sun rises each day without fail, so too has your truth risen. They tried to bury you, but like the morning sun, you have emerged, shining brighter than before. Let them see what they could never control. Let them see what they feared all along. The power that was always within you, the power that has always been yours. They tried to make you believe that you were small, that you were insignificant. But now, as you stand in the fullness of your truth, they will witness the awakening they thought they could stop. No longer will they hold power over you. No longer will they dictate your story. The story they tried to write for you has come to an end, and now the story of your truth will be told. The chains they tried to wrap around you have been broken, and you are free to live your purpose. It's time for the world to see who you really are. It's time for them to see the power they could never silence. They tried to silence your voice, to make you doubt your own power. But now, as you stand tall in the knowledge of who you are, let them see that you were never broken. You were never the one who needed fixing. It was their system that was broken. It was their understanding of power that was flawed. You were never meant to blend into their world of conformity. You were meant to shine in a way they couldn't comprehend, to move in a way that set you apart, to show the world that true power doesn't come from control. It comes from within. They thought they could dim your light, but every time they tried, they only fueled the fire inside you. Every attack, every attempt to silence you only made your light burn brighter. And now, as the world watches, that light is impossible to ignore. They thought they could keep you down, but in the end, their efforts only made you stronger. Now the world will finally recognize what they never could. For too long, you've been hidden in plain sight. For too long, your power has been underestimated. But now, the time for hiding is over. Your truth cannot be suppressed anymore. It is coming to light, and there's nothing they can do to stop it. The world will see what they tried to keep hidden, and they will finally understand the truth that has always been yours to claim. You were never meant to be their pawn. You were never meant to play by their rules. You were meant to break free from their chains, to step into your own power, and to show the world that true strength comes from embracing your authentic self. The lies they told you, the limits they tried to place on you, have all been revealed for what they are: empty words meant to control, meant to keep you in fear. But now, as you stand in your power, there is no more fear. There is only truth, and that truth is unstoppable. The world is about to see what they never expected: your resurrection. You are here, you are whole, and you are stronger than ever. Now let them see your light shine brighter than ever before. They can no longer hide from it. Now is the time to share God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube. You can contribute to His plan and be a part of this divine mission with a donation of $100 or more. Every gift reflects God's generosity, and I believe it will return to you exponentially, far beyond your expectations. Remember, His protection and blessing is on your every step and every donation. You become part of His divine plan. You are a strong, radiant being, unshakable as His mighty rock. Witness God's miracles. Feel the fruits of your generosity in your soul, and illuminate the world with confidence and courage. Be blessed, and let the light of the Lord guide your path. While they tried to diminish your presence, your authenticity grew stronger. The suppression was not a reflection of your shortcomings. It was a direct result of your strength. You were a force, one that didn't require their validation or approval to thrive. The more they tried to ignore you, the clearer it became that your voice was destined to change the narrative they had been controlling. In the silence, in the absence of recognition, you refined your message. Each dismissal, each ignored post, each shadowed corner you were pushed into, led you to understand your purpose more deeply. This is not a failure. It is preparation for the moment when your truth will echo in the hearts of many. The digital void is not your punishment, but your training ground for the explosion of awareness that will soon come. Every time your words were muted, your spirit grew stronger. Every obstacle in your way became an opportunity to refine your message and sharpen your resolve. This process, although painful, is the key to your future success. What once seemed like failure was nothing more than a test of your commitment to your purpose. Now, as the collective consciousness begins to awaken, the very people who once doubted you are starting to feel it, to sense the truth of what you carry. The barriers they erected are crumbling, and your message is being absorbed by those who were ready to hear it all along. What began as a whisper has become a roar, and it cannot be ignored any longer. You've endured the storm, faced the silence, and navigated the wilderness. And now, as the light begins to shine on your truth, those who tried to suppress it are forced to confront the overwhelming power of what they could not silence. This is your moment, your time to rise and show the world that no force can ever contain the authenticity of your message. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. The very systems they created to keep you in the shadows now serve as proof of your power. Every attempt to erase you only adds to the undeniable evidence of your significance. The very struggle to suppress you becomes part of your legacy, showing that true power cannot be controlled, only revealed in time. What they didn't know was that their attempts to break you were the very things that were strengthening you. Your evolution was not hindered, it was accelerated. The challenges they created in your path are the very foundation of your eventual rise. The truth is now undeniable, and your moment of revelation is closer than ever.